Welcome to the shadowy streets of 19th century London, where the cobblestones whisper tales of terror and the fog hides secrets best left buried. Tonight, we journey into the dark heart of Fleet Street to uncover the gruesome legend of Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. It begins, as all good horror stories do, with a seemingly ordinary man, Sweeney Todd. By day, he was a barber, known for his precision, his skill, and his ever-so-sharp razor. But beneath the polite facade lay a monster, a man driven by greed, revenge, and an insatiable thirst for blood. Fleet Street in the late 1700s was no stranger to vice and villainy. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the alleys echoed with the cries of the desperate. It was here that Todd set up shop, his sign swinging gently in the grimy wind, shave and a haircut, guaranteed to be close, and oh, how close it was. Men would enter his shop seeking a trim and leave as something else entirely, if they ever left at all. Todd's chair wasn't just a barber's chair, it was a device of diabolical ingenuity. With the pull of a hidden lever, his unsuspecting victims would be sent tumbling backward, down into the dark, clammy basement below. Their throats, freshly slit by Todd's razor, would ensure their silence forever. But this was no ordinary murder spree. Todd had a partner in crime, Mrs. Lovett, a woman as twisted as Todd himself. She owned a nearby pie shop, and business was booming. Why? Because her pies had a secret ingredient, the meat from Todd's victims. Together they formed a gruesome partnership, turning murder into a culinary enterprise. Imagine it, Londoners, working men, women and children, unwittingly sinking their teeth into warm, flaky pies filled with human flesh. The rich, the poor, the desperate. None were spared, and all the while the people praised Mrs. Lovett for her unmatched recipe. But as with all dark deeds, the truth could not stay hidden forever. Whispers of disappearing men began to spread. The foul stench of decay began to seep from Mrs. Lovett's ovens. And soon, a brave soul ventured into the depths of Todd's shop and uncovered the horror beneath. A basement piled high with the bodies of the butchered, razor marks on their necks, their lifeless eyes staring into the void. The game was up. Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett were finally exposed. Todd was arrested, tried and sentenced to death. Some say he met his end on the gallows, others claim he took his own life in prison. As for Mrs. Lovett, she met a fiery demise, burned alive in her own cursed oven. And yet, the legend doesn't end there. To this day, some say you can hear the faint sound of a razor being sharpened if you walk Fleet Street at night. Others swear they smell the unmistakable aroma of Mrs. Lovett's pies, drifting through the fog. So, if you ever find yourself in an old barber's chair and the blade feels a little too close for comfort, remember Sweeney Todd and pray he's not still in business.